Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stephen the Jupiterian here, continuing on my Saturn through the zodiac signs. We went through all his Saturn through all the fire signs, Saturn through all the earth signs, and now we're starting Saturn through the air signs. We're going to start with Saturn in Gemini. And actually, since I share the tarot card that associates is associated with Saturn, here's the Light Seers deck, the World, which represents Saturn in the tarot. And here's the Universal Rider Waite, the World card representing Saturn. And we're working with Saturn in Gemini. Saturn in Gemini. Well, there is no um tarot card for Saturn in Gemini, but heck, we can incorporate that with the Lovers, which is a very Gemini takes on Gemini qualities from the tarot. Um, actually, I actually like the Lovers card in this deck. And yes, here we are. The Lovers in the Universal, not the, this is the Lightseers deck. The Lovers card. Actually, if you look at their faces, they're symmetrical. There's like, if you don't focus on their faces and focus what's in the middle, it looks like a chalice that or a goblet of some sort, which is very interesting to me, looking beyond and into the card itself, and sharing the duality of that of the Lover's card, a Gemini quality, which I think is cool. And the Saturn is the planet of responsibility and all that, and also responsibility, yes, perseverance, the planet of time and expertise and mastery. So, and it's in an air sign. Of Gemini is an air sign, so it's about intellect, communication, and being very talkative, communicative in the way you are do Saturnian things. You're responsible through um witty remarks. You could be very funny, could bring up very interesting seeing seeing both sides of a conflict. Um, and with Saturn in Gemini, um, you master you could master the art of being charming and adaptable. Uh, and how clever you are. It's also setting, it also could be boundaries placed on you or by you, depending on where Saturn is in your chart in Gemini. And Saturn, if your day chart And actually I talk about this a lot because actually sect of your chart, if you're a day chart, you have the sun from above the horizon, houses 12 to um or 7 to 12. Yeah. If you have planets in houses 1 through 6, and I'll share the um with you again because I have a whole video about sect. So if you're a day chart, Saturn in Gemini has some extra some dignity here by triplicity in a day chart. And that's all. If you're a day chart, Gemini in Saturn in Gemini has some um, essential dignity here, which is a really good thing for a day chart. Anyway, actually, Saturn is the lesser malefic in a day chart. Yes, and Mars is not won't work well with you if you're a day chart. Whereas if you're a night chart, Saturn is not best, Mars is better. And there's a whole explanation that is in another video that I have done on sect in the natal chart. And let me just share with you that. Yeah, I'm going to share my chart. Why not? I usually always do share my chart. I'm a night chart because my sun is in the fourth house. And I have actually I was looking at at February 17th, which is the new moon and the start of the fire horse. Um, the year of the fire horse starts February 17th. So yeah, okay. So today, January 3rd, Saturn's day. We see actually my chart is the middle one here. And I have the sun in the fourth house, which makes me a night chart. So if you had the sun anywhere between under below the horizon here, you're a night chart. If you have any planets above the horizon, you're a day chart. If your sun is in any of these places from the 7th to the 12th. Although sometimes they say if your sun is here, right on the last degrees of the 12th house, you're in twilight, or here twilight time, because actually the sun is just about to rise, or the sun is just about to set in the 7th house, going into the 6th. So that's all we have about sect. And let me change that about hey, yes. So so yes, here's an example of a day chart. Because actually it is daytime and the sun is in the 9th house right now at 12:46 p.m. West Coast time or Pacific Standard Time. So yeah. Um Saturn in Gemini. And then we have, if you, to give you even more essential dignity, if you have Saturn between, okay, I'm going to stop this. I don't need that anymore. Saturn between the 21st degree and the 25th degree of Gemini. Saturn in Gemini between 21 degrees and 25 degrees. You have even more dignity by term. So, day chart, if you're a day chart, Gemini, Saturn in Gemini, you have dignity by triplicity and dignity by term if you have Saturn at between 21 and 25 degrees of Gemini. And yeah, actually you're very this lesson. Actually, Saturn is your teaches you or the lessons you need to learn about communication and although you can be very funny and sometimes sarcastic, you love knowledge. And maybe that's your lesson to learn um, a lot about a specific um, something specific for you. If you, like, say, if you have this Saturn in Gemini in the sixth house, well, that's very service oriented. You have lessons to learn about being of service to others, and about taking care of yourself as well. Um, you're very smart with Saturn in Gemini, and can be a little restless and very popular, opportunistic, although you get easily bored. You know, Saturn in Gemini. Gemini energy is very like quick and fast communication. They'll they'll talk about a subject and then move on to something else, something new. Always looking for something changed that's different and changeable, adaptable with its because it's also a mutable sign. And so yes, Saturn in Gemini can be a very well, depending on well, if you know how to use Saturn in your Saturn in Gemini. Um, and especially if you're a day chart, it's the best thing for a day chart. Saturn is anyway. So yes, that's what I have for you with this Saturn and Gemini. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. Thanks. Uh, don't forget to like the video, post a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I know that I've seen that a lot of you are watching the videos but not subscribing. Please subscribe and actually help this channel grow. Post a comment, hit the thumbs up button, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks.